I've got this lovely image here of this little girl, and I'd like to boost the color. For curiosity's sake, I often check the metadata and see when I created it, 2011, and then see what camera I was using at the time. A Sony DSC TX1. That's a Sony Cyber Shot. It was one of my point-and-shoot cameras. Even though this wasn't shot originally in RAW, I'm going to use File, Opening Camera RAW to get to all of the outstanding features. And what I love this for is simple boosting of color and improving contrast. So I'll start by dialing exposure up a bit, and look how you're seeing all the detail in her black top now. But I have lost the detail in her face, and these spikes in the histogram let me know that I've gone too far and I'm losing color values altogether. So I will dial exposure down until those come back a bit, or try protecting my highlights. Now this is just a little tag that I'm going to clone out anyway, so I actually won't worry about that as much. I'll let the highlights go a little bit brighter so you can see the rosy in her cheeks. I'll zoom in by hitting Command plus or Control plus, or hitting the plus sign down here to about 100%. That's the most accurate view in Camera Raw. And I'll use my hand tool to drag her face into view. Now I'll come in and boost the clarity a bit, and you can see how that really just sharpens all the detail. I uncheck and check preview to see before, after. Flat and dull, nice contrast, opened up skin tone, opened up hair. I could also experiment with shadows, whites, and blacks, but I'm going to hit Command 0 to fit in window, or simply hit the minus until I see the whole image. If I do before and after, there's the huge improvement, but it looks like I lost some of the richness of the yellow and purple in the tint. So here's where Vibrance saves the day. I dial up Vibrance and it just boosts that color. It's gorgeous. I turned preview off and on, and it did an outstanding job. I could finish up by playing with contrast if you want a little bit more. I tend to avoid too much contrast because I don't want it to look artificial. And then I'll hit done. So once done, I've got a clear, color-corrected image. Now I'm going to double-click and open it in Photoshop. And actually, when I double-click, since I've already used Camera Raw on it, I now hit Open Image to get to it in Photoshop. Something that has RAW corrections on it will remember that you did those corrections and open it back in RAW so you could make individual changes. But I'm going to go to the magical patch tool underneath the spot healing brush tool, and I will make a patch or selection around that tag and simply drag to another part of the tent. And you may have to do this several times. I'll zoom in a bit. In fact, if patch doesn't work on the first go around, often I'll try making a selection and try the newer Edit Fill, Content Aware, and click OK. And beautiful. I'm going to hit Command D or Control D to deselect, Command 0 or Control 0 to fit in window or view fit on screen, and now I have a final version that I'm ready to save in an uncompressed format. So I hit Command D on my Mac to go to the desktop, or you could click on desktop, and I'll save my corrected version as a Photoshop document. So take a few moments. Try boosting your color with vibrance, shadows, highlights in Adobe Camera Raw. And if you have any imperfections you'd like to remove, try either the patch tool or Edit Content Aware Fill. I hope you enjoyed these few favorite tips of mine.